Welcome to Windy Handicrafts. Insert the neck into the head fabric that you've sewn together. Gently pull the fabric up over the head, trying to get the fabric as smooth as possible. Sewing a basting stitch around the opening at the top and pull together slightly before tying off. Tie off the neck by tightly wrapping a length of upholstery thread around a couple of times and tying a knot. Cut a circle of fabric large enough to cover the opening and stitch around the edges to hold it in place. Don't worry about hiding this stitch, as it will be covered by the hair. Use pins to adjust the position of the eyes. Mark the eyeliner with your dissolvable marker. Using your upholstery thread and long dull making needle, insert the thread through the front of the head at the eye mark, leaving a long thread coming out through the front. Enter the needle right next to the eye mark. Repeat for the other eye. Using your dissolvable marker, draw a circle around the eye marks you made. The size and shape of the eye, up to you. For this doll, the circle was about 6 millimeters wide. Using 2 strands of your embroidery thread and your long dull needle, insert the embroidery thread into the center of the eye and bring it through to the back of the head, leaving a tail. Switch to your embroidery needle to work with the thread still at the front of the head. Make a horizontal stitch across the width of the eye. Then, make vertical stitches going from 2 to bottom of the circle you drew. Satin stitch from the top of the eye outline to the bottom. Be careful to keep your tension even and avoid any loops or bumps. Go over the eye a second time with satin stitch from the top of the eye to the bottom. This will help to make the edges nice and neat. Finally, add the lashes, extending from the middle of the top of the eye, pointing in a downturned direction to the outer edge of the eye. Using your pin and dissolvable fabric pen, mark where you would like the corners of the mouth to be. For example, like to make the mouth about the same width as the nose or slightly narrower. I also like to put the mouth about the same distance from the nose as the nose is from the eyes. As I mentioned when making the head, divide the part of the head under the eyeline into thirds. I place the nose at the bottom of the first third and the mouth at the bottom of the second third. You can play with this rule to make the face how you like. Using your upholstery thread and long doll making needle, insert the needle at one of the marks you made and pull through to the top of the head, leaving a short tail out of the top of the head and the remainder of the thread coming from the font. Rethread the needle with the tail coming out the front and insert right next to where you inserted it the first time. Pull up to the top of the head, pull the threads. Taught to make an indent at the mouth mark just like you did for the eyes. See figure for eye indentation. Using 2 strands of your embroidery thread and long spool making needle, make a single long stitch from one corner of the mouth to the other, pulling the tail end, back of the head, tie off. Preparing to sew the ears. Turn the ear pieces right side out and stuff with a small amount of wool. Fold the seams inward and stitch together using an invisible stitch. Pin the ears to the head using the underlying threading as a guide. The top of the ear should begin at the eyeline, using a small needle and thread matching the skin tone. Invisible stitch the ears to the head, going around twice. Tie off and hide the tails by inserting them into the head and out of a seam. Pull the tails taut and trim.